Meet Nico Machado, a lovable and playful pit bull boxer mix with an incredible personality. Part of his breed includes the Staffordshire Terrier, which is known for their intelligence, loyalty, courage, and affectionate nature. My mother, Elizabeth Machado, a third grade teacher at Bird Tavern Elementary School, had the unique opportunity to train Nico as a therapy dog through the Air Dogs program through her district, Hopewell Valley Regional School District. Watching Nico grow and excel during his training was inspiring, as his natural, gentle, and loving temperament made it clear he was destined to become a therapy dog. For this segment, I spoke with my mother, Elizabeth Machado, Nico's therapy dog handler, about her experiences with him. Although she prefers to not appear on camera, I will be narrating her responses to share her insights. Nico was adopted on October 23, 2021. When I first saw him, I don't understand how he could be a match for Luna, our other dog. Nico was trembling in the corner of the crate and wouldn't make eye contact. He was such a frightened little pup who jumped at my nose. He's come a long way since then. I do believe that the therapy dog training helped him to develop his confidence. I also attribute his growth to Luna. She helped show him how to be a dog and helped him acclimate to our home. The Hopewell Valley Regional School District gave the opportunity for teachers to participate in the fifth cohort of the air-based therapy dog program. Nico's therapy training was quite a commitment. The previous cohorts were reversed to administrators only. The district explained that, if selected, the training would be extensive and required a commitment for attendance. I believe I was only allowed to miss only 2 of the lessons over a year-long period. Over 25 teachers expressed their interest in participating, and Nico was one of the 11 selected to be a part of this cohort. Of the 11 teachers and dogs, 8 graduated as therapy dogs at the end of May 2024. We now have a therapy dog at each of the 6 buildings in the Hopewell Valley Regional School District. The benefits are easy to see. The children love Nico. They wave to Nico when they see him, and today I received a handwritten letter from a first grader asking if I can bring Nico to his classroom. Some children stop me in the hallway to tell me to say hi to Nico when I get home. Nico has become a part of the school community in such a short period of time. One noticeable benefit is that Nico brings out the best behavior from the children. They seem to self-regulate emotions and demonstrate self-control in order to visit with Nico, which is something us teachers are not regularly seeing in the classroom. I will say that the staff has been incredibly supportive of having Nico around. Those who are pit bull owners expressed how grateful they are to see Nico breaking the stereotype of aggressive pit bulls. For this next segment, Caitlin Mastrangelo is a school counselor at Bear Tavern Elementary, where she works closely with students to support their emotional and mental well-being. As a colleague of my mother, she has first-hand experience with Nico and has shared her insights on the impact he has had on the school community. First, I asked Caitlin, how do you think Nico's role as a school-based therapy dog will support the district and school goals?
The district's very focused on mental health. I think now everyone is, and I'm thankful that, we work in a district that allows the use of animals too. Like we're very animal prone here at Bear Tavern, and I never had that at my old building. So just the difference of having these extra supports in animal form, I think is huge. And kids respond so much better, sometimes more than to humans, to the animal. So I really think this just in general will support the mental health of the whole building and the whole district.
Next, I asked, what are the pros and cons of having a school-based therapy dog?
Honestly, and I think your mom could attest to this, like it's the scheduling because she's a classroom teacher, which she's amazing, but it limits her ability to because she obviously travels with Nico. So if she's only a set period of time. So I think scheduling, I think for Halloween we were able to get her a substitute so that she could walk with Nico.
Yeah.
So I think it's just honestly availability.
Mhm.
And scheduling is like the con because he's not always here.
Yeah.
And then obviously the pros are everything else.
Lastly, I asked her, in your opinion, what is the most unique aspect of having a school-based therapy dog?
Honestly, I think it's so unique because Nico can't talk back to you, right? So like sometimes you just need that unconditional positive regard and empathy listening. Like he's obviously not chatting back, right? So
Yeah.
they don't have to explain themselves or even talk about what it is, but like emotionally they're getting what they need without having to talk about it.
For this final segment, Trisha Baker, the owner of Air Dogs, shares valuable insights about the mission of Air Dogs and the benefits of therapy dogs in a school setting. I first asked Trisha, what is the main goal of Air Dogs?
Air Dogs was born out of tragedy, really, when there was a young person who passed away. in a local school district. The superintendent knew that we did have therapy dogs, and he just wanted to do everything he could do to provide support for the students. And what he shared with me was that all the students were in the media center and none of the students were talking. They had every counselor from the district, they had every counselor from the county. No one was talking. And then he had invited us, and he said when the dogs came in, he said it was like life came back in the room. Our goal is to really bring smiles, basically bring smiles, but dogs in schools do so much more than that. Dogs in schools will help with school refusal. Dogs in schools will help de-escalate children who are having a really difficult time. Dogs in schools will help students de-stress prior to tests, allowing them to be more productive on their tests or in their work during the class. So there's so many benefits to having the dogs in the school. And, our hope is just to see if we can bring more dogs into more schools across New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
I then asked what sets Air Dogs apart from other therapy dog organizations.
In all the years I've been doing this, we've never, ever had a negative incident. And it's because I was called rigid by one school and they didn't invite us back, and that's okay, because I feel I'd rather that our dogs be safe, our humans be safe. So if you're going to call me rigid because I want the utmost safety, then call me rigid and have someone else come in. I'm going to brag a little bit. We were actually the first group that brought dogs into schools in the nation. The first group.
Oh, wow.
Back when I started doing therapy work, dogs were allowed in nursing homes and hospitals, and they did library programs. But when we started doing our mental wellness programs, we always brought a dog with us. And we had people, you can't bring a dog in here. Dogs don't go into schools. We always had one advocate somewhere said, bring them in. And then as we started going through, the years, everyone's like, now you're the ones with the dogs and with the mental health programming. And now you can see dogs are everywhere in schools. And so I'm really proud to say that we were like the first ones.
Following that, I asked, in your experience, what benefits do therapy dogs provide to people?
Dogs and humans have this relationship that humans have with no other mammals. When humans look at dogs, it releases oxytocin in their brain, which is the relationship hormone. When they interact with the dog and pet the dog, it releases serotonin, dopamine, lowers their cortisol level, lowers their blood pressure. So there's all these really great physiological responses that happen when we humans interact with dogs.
To conclude, I asked, can you describe a memorable experience where a therapy dog had a significant impact on someone?
This one always sticks in my mind. I was at a high school and I was doing my mental wellness suicide prevention program, which can be a little bit of a tough program, triggering program.
Yeah.
This one girl, she was triggered. She was crying after the program and she refused to talk to a counselor. She just sat there and she was crying. And so the counselor directed me, and I had Goober with me, to this young person. And I sat down next to her and I said, would you like to pet my dog? And she shook her head yes while she's crying. And she starts to pet him. And maybe a minute goes by and I said, would you like him on your lap? And she shook her head yes. And the crying is starting to subside. And I put him on her lap. 2 minutes. And I said, are you ready to talk to a counselor now? And she shook her head yes. And she got up and she walked away with the counselor. And all that happened was this 2-minute interaction between her and my little dog. That's all that encouraged her to be able to get up and to talk about what she was feeling and what she was experiencing.